My brothers and sisters, too many of us have lost the rhythm of our own song because we're busy dancing to someone else's tune. We look left, we look right, and we forget to look within. You see, comparison is a thief dressed in silk. It will rob your joy, steal your confidence, and whisper lies into your ear, telling you that who you are and what you have is not enough. But oh, my dear hearts, you are enough. You always have been. God did not make you a duplicate. He made you divine. He formed your fingerprints with purpose, and He hid your blessing in your becoming. When you spend your days watching the footsteps of others, you lose sight of the path that was meant for you. Your race is not a relay, it is a revelation. You are not in competition, you are in creation. There will always be louder voices, prettier faces, richer hands, but none of them can sing your song. None of them can tell your story. None of them can fulfill your destiny because it belongs to you and you alone. So my child, turn your gaze inward. Water your own garden. Pray over your own soil. Celebrate your small victories. Let your roots run deep in gratitude. For when you focus on yourself, you rise not to outshine others, but to let the light of God shine through you. You begin to walk taller, speak kinder, and love stronger. Focus on your healing. Focus on your growth. Focus on becoming the woman or man you were always meant to be. And when the world asks, why are you no longer watching others? You tell them, because I'm finally watching the masterpiece God is painting in me. And oh, what a masterpiece it is. Stand in your glory. Stand in your truth, and never forget, you are your greatest work of art. My dear heart, comparison is a thief that wears a smile. It creeps in quietly, whispering in your ear that someone else is more beautiful, more talented, more blessed, more loved. It comes like a gentle breeze at first, but if you let it linger, it will grow into a storm that uproots your peace. You see, comparison doesn't just visit your mind, it builds a home in your soul if you let it. And when it does, it begins to rearrange your furniture of faith. Suddenly, gratitude grows dusty in the corner, while jealousy sits in the center of the room, demanding your attention. I have lived long enough to know that the grass is not greener on the other side. It is greener where you water it. Yet many of us stand at the fence of our neighbor's garden counting their flowers, while our own roots grow dry and our petals fade. We spend hours scrolling through the lives of others, how they smile, how they shine, how they seem to have it all, and we forget that every photograph hides a story, and every smile carries a secret sorrow. My child, when you compare yourself to others, you dim your own light. You tell the universe that what you have been given is not enough. And God, who formed you from His own imagination, who molded your spirit with divine precision, must look down and sigh, saying, my beloved, why do you doubt what I have made? There is danger in comparison, for it blinds you to your blessings. You can have a table full of food and still hunger for what is on another's plate. You can live in a home filled with love and still envy a mansion built on emptiness. When you measure your worth against another's success, you chain yourself to a race that has no finish line. I want you to remember this. Every person you see is fighting a battle you cannot see. The woman you admire for her beauty may cry herself to sleep at night. The man you envy for his success may wake up every morning wondering if it will all fall apart. We look at people's victories, but we do not see their valleys. We see their crowns, but not their crosses. You are not meant to live someone else's story. God wrote yours with a pen that no other hand can hold. He designed your detours, your delays, your disappointments for a reason. The very things that make you feel behind may be the things that set you apart. You may not see the full picture yet, but beloved, every piece is necessary. Comparison will tell you to rush, but wisdom will whisper, wait, bloom in your own season. When you stop comparing, something miraculous happens. You begin to breathe freely again. You start to notice the beauty in your own reflection. You begin to say, yes, I am still growing, but I am growing beautifully. You start to realize that progress is not a race, it is a rhythm, and your rhythm does not need to match anyone else's. I remember a time when I watched others soar while I was still finding my wings. I looked at their applause, their achievements, their shining moments, and I wondered if my light would ever reach the same height. But then I learned that the moon never competes with the sun. It shines when it is its time to shine, and both light the world in their own way. You see, comparison is not just about jealousy, it's about forgetting your identity. You are a child of the Creator, molded in majesty, kissed by eternity. How dare you shrink yourself to fit into someone else's shadow? The world doesn't need another copy, it needs your truth. Your voice, your laughter, your tears, your scars, they all tell a story no one else can tell. When you find yourself tempted to compare, pause. Take a deep breath and whisper, "Thank you. Thank you for my journey. Thank you for my lessons. Thank you for the place I am in right now." Gratitude is the antidote to comparison. The moment you count your blessings, envy loses its power. The moment you give thanks, peace takes its place. It is a kind of quiet power to be content. It is a sacred act of rebellion to say, "I am enough right here, right now." This world will try to convince you otherwise. It will shout that you must do more, have more, become more. But God's voice, soft, steady, and sure, says, "Just be who I made you to be." So my child, turn away from the noise. Stop scrolling through other people's set stories as if they hold the secret to your happiness. Look inward. Look upward. Ask yourself not, what do they have that I don't sep, but what has God placed in me that I haven't sep yet discovered? And when you walk through life with that kind of awareness, you begin to see that your journey is not lacking, it is layered. Every season serves a purpose, every delay hides direction, every struggle is shaping your strength. Do not let comparison rob you of your joy, for joy is sacred. It cannot survive in a heart that keeps measuring itself against others. Joy lives in the soil of gratitude, in the sunlight of self-acceptance, and in the gentle rain of faith. When you finally release the need to compare, you will find peace waiting like an old friend. You will feel your shoulders loosen, your breath deepen, your heart soften. You will begin to live not as a reflection of others, but as a revelation of yourself. Remember, the Creator made no mistakes in designing you. Your timing is perfect. Your pace is divine, and your purpose is alive. Walk in it boldly. Celebrate others, yes, but never at the cost of dimming your own light, for the world needs the brilliance that only you can bring. And when you forget, when comparison knocks at your door again, smile and say, "No, thank you. I am too busy becoming." My beloved, there is something sacred about your being, something divine that cannot be copied, borrowed, or stolen. You were not made in a factory of sameness. You were crafted in the workshop of the Almighty, where every soul is molded by love and sealed with purpose. When God made you, He broke the mold, not out of waste but out of wonder. He said, "This one is different. This one carries a song the world has not yet heard." And yet too many of us spend our lives trying to sound like someone else's echo. We trim our truth to fit into another's expectation. We hide the very things that make us radiant because we fear they make us strange. But my dear heart, it is your strangeness that makes you holy. The world will try to convince you that your uniqueness is your weakness, but it is your wings. And when you learn to spread those wings without apology, you will find that the sky was always waiting for you. You see, no one can walk the path designed for your feet. No one can speak with the timbre of your voice or dream your dreams in the way your soul does. You are the sum of moments and miracles that no other being can claim. Your laughter, your pain, your triumphs, and even your tears are the ingredients of your divine recipe. If you change one thing, you lose the flavor of your becoming. I have seen too many souls shrink themselves to fit into the boxes that others have built. They paint over their brilliance just to blend into the crowd. But what is the use of light if it does not shine? What is the purpose of a melody if it is never sung? You were not born to blend, child. You were born to blaze. You are the fire that cannot be extinguished, the voice that cannot be silenced, the poem that refuses to end. Every freckle on your face, every scar upon your heart, every twist in your journey tells the story of how God sculpted you into being. Do not despise your differences. They are your distinction. When the world tries to make you feel small, stand taller. When they tell you to sit down, rise higher. For you were not made to follow the footprints of others. You were made to leave your own in the sands of time. I want you to understand this deeply. You are not a mistake. You are not a coincidence. You are an intentional creation. Before you ever drew your first breath, heaven whispered your name. Before your mother held you, purpose had already embraced you. You have gifts that this world has yet to see, and dreams that the universe is waiting to birth through you. Do not be afraid of being different. Be afraid of being forgettable. The crowd may mock you for marching to your own rhythm, but even the drumbeat of destiny sounds strange to those who are afraid to dance. Be bold enough to stand alone. Be brave enough to believe that you were made for more. You see, God is an artist, and his canvas is creation. He does not paint in repetition, he paints in revelation. Every soul he breathes into existence carries a color the world has never seen before. And when you hide your hue, you rob the masterpiece of its full beauty. When you look at the stars in the night sky, no two shine the same, yet together they light up the heavens. That is how humanity is meant to be. You are not called to outshine anyone, you are called to shine as you. Your light adds to the world's glow. Your voice adds to its harmony. Without you being authentically yourself, something in creation remains incomplete. I know it can be hard, my dear, to walk in your truth when the world rewards imitation. It takes courage to be real in a culture of masks. But remember this, masks may win you applause, but they will never bring you peace. Only authenticity can do that. Only standing in your truth, unashamed and unafraid, can bring you the quiet joy of knowing you are enough. When you embrace your uniqueness, you give others permission to do the same. You become a mirror of courage, a beacon of honesty, a testimony of freedom. People see your light and remember their own. That is the hidden power of self-acceptance. It does not just heal you, it heals everyone who witnesses it. I have lived long enough to know that the world will try to define you. They will label you, limit you, and tell you who they think you should be. But their words do not have the power to change your design. You belong to the one who made you, not the ones who misunderstand you. So when they tell you you're too much, smile and say, I am just enough. When they say you're too loud, let your voice rise in gratitude. When they say you're too different, whisper, that is the point. My dear, your uniqueness is your ministry. It is the way you bless the world without even trying. Every time you show up as your full, authentic self, you remind creation that it is okay to bloom in its own way. Flowers do not compete, they just open, and in their opening they glorify the sun. Be like that. Open, radiant, unapologetic. There will be moments when you will doubt your design, when you will wonder if your differences make you unworthy. But remember, even diamonds are formed under pressure and pearls are born from irritation. Sometimes the things that make you uncomfortable are the very things that make you precious. So my child, walk in the fullness of who you are. Hold your head high, speak with conviction, move with grace. Let your life be your art, your actions, your poetry, your love, your legacy. And when you feel lost, when the world's noise tries to drown your inner voice, be still and remember God does not make replicas. He makes revelation. You are one of them. You are a divine declaration of individuality whispered into the world for such a time as this. So live boldly, love loudly, and never ever apologize for being exactly who you were created to be. For in the orchestra of existence, you are not meant to echo another's tune. You are meant to sing your own song. And oh, what a song it is. My dear one, we spend so much of our lives peering over the fences of others, wondering how their garden grows so lush, so lovely, so full of fruit. We stand in the shadow of envy, forgetting that our own soil waits patiently for our hands, for our care, for our attention. We forget that the flowers we admire in others' fields are not miracles of chance, they are miracles of maintenance. They are the result of watering, tending, pruning, and waiting. And the same truth applies to your life. You must tend to your own soul if you wish to see it bloom. There is a wisdom in knowing where to place your energy. You cannot grow if you are forever gazing at someone else's garden. You cannot thrive if your hands are busy pointing instead of planting. When you water another's dream and neglect your own, you will find yourself standing in a drought of your own making. God gives each of us a patch of earth, our purpose, our gift, our spirit, and it is our duty to nurture it with love, prayer, and patience. My child, your garden is unique. Some people's flowers bloom quickly, others take longer. Some seasons bring rain, others bring drought. But every season, if you remain faithful, will bring growth. Do not rush it, do not curse it. Do not compare it, just keep tending. Keep showing up to your own life with gentle hands and a willing heart. There are people who will tell you that success lies in being everywhere, in doing everything, in outgrowing everyone. But I tell you this, true success is found in knowing how to be still and faithful with what you have been given. You don't need to chase what belongs to someone else. You don't need to imitate the rhythm of another's work. You need only to master the grace of your own garden. You see, when you water your own garden, you learn the sacred art of gratitude. You begin to notice small miracles, how one seed of kindness can become a tree of compassion, how one moment of prayer can shift a whole day. You begin to understand that abundance does not come from comparison, but from consistency. Every day you choose to show up for yourself, to nourish your mind, to feed your spirit, to speak life into your dreams. You are watering something eternal. The trouble is, many of us want harvest without labor. We want blossoms without the waiting, fragrance without the soil, glory without the grind. But every gardener knows the hands that dig the deepest grow the strongest roots. So dig deep, my love. Plant your prayers in the dark earth of patience. Trust that even when you cannot see it, growth is happening beneath the surface. There will be times when you will be tempted to give up, to say, "This soil is too hard, nothing grows here." But remember, roses bloom from thorny bushes, and the sweetest fruit often comes from the roughest ground. Do not give up on your garden because it looks barren today. The miracle you seek is already on its way. It just needs your faith to meet it halfway. When you water your own garden, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for someone else to validate you, to uplift you, to save you. You realize that the well you've been searching for is within you. God placed rivers of creativity, wells of wisdom, and fountains of love inside your soul. All you must do is draw from them. Speak over yourself as you would over a seed, gently, lovingly, faithfully. Say, "I am growing, I am learning, I am becoming," and you will be amazed at how life begins to bloom around you. Do not despise the small beginnings. Every mighty oak started as a seed. Every sunrise began in darkness. Every masterpiece began as a blank canvas. Your journey may not look grand to others right now, but to heaven it is glorious. The angels are cheering every time you choose to try again, every time you water your garden instead of watching another's. And remember, my dear, gardens need pruning too. Not everything that grows is meant to stay. There will be habits, people, and thoughts that no longer serve your growth. Do not fear letting them go. Pruning is not punishment, it is preparation. When you remove what no longer belongs, you make space for new beauty to bloom. Take time to rest in your own space. Sit quietly with your soul. Ask yourself, what do I need today? What am I neglecting in me? What can I nurture that will bring me peace? Too often we look for peace in others when it has been planted inside us all along. I have learned that when you tend to your own heart, you begin to love more deeply. You become less envious, less judgmental, less hurried. You start to see that everyone is just tending to their own plot of life, each with its own weeds and wonders. And when you understand that, you stop comparing and start compassionating. You can admire another's garden without envying it. You can celebrate their growth while honoring your own pace. Water your faith. Water your mind. Water your gratitude. For what you water will grow. If you water fear, it will multiply. If you water doubt, it will choke your joy. But if you water love, patience, and purpose, they will flourish until your life overflows with blessings. My dear heart, God is the master gardener. He is not rushing you. He is refining you. Every season, every trial, every quiet morning is a lesson in trust. Let him teach you how to grow with grace. Let him show you that the rain is not punishment. It is nourishment. You were not meant to live in drought. You were meant to bloom, to bear fruit, to bless others with your fragrance and shade. But that can only happen when you stop staring at someone else's blossoms and start tending to your own. So rise up tomorrow, and before you look to see who has what, look within. Ask yourself, what can I water today? Maybe it's your dream. Maybe it's your self-worth. Maybe it's your peace. Whatever it is, water it with love and let time and faith do the rest. And when at last your garden begins to bloom, when others look at your joy and say, how did you make it grow? You will smile and say, I stopped watching others and started watching God work in me. For that, my child, is the truth of life. You cannot harvest what you do not water. And the most beautiful gardens are not built on envy. They are built on faith, patience, and love. My beloved, this world will tell you that life is about performance, about how much you have, how far you go, how loudly you shine. It will say that your worth is tied to applause, that your value depends on how others see you. But the soul knows better. The soul knows that life is not a competition, it is a calling. It is not about who notices you, but about who you become when no one is watching. It is not about how fast you run, but about how faithfully you walk with purpose. You see, there is a difference between performing and living with purpose. Performance is loud, it is dressed in worry, drenched in exhaustion, desperate for approval. But purpose is quiet, steady, confident. It does not need an audience. It knows its worth comes from the one who made it. Purpose whispers, be still and know that I am enough. Performance shouts, look at me. Purpose prays, use me. When you focus on performance, you live on the stage of comparison. You start to measure your worth by how well others are doing. You bend and twist yourself into shapes that don't fit your soul just to earn a clapping crowd. But the applause of people is a fickle friend. It will lift you one moment and leave you the next. And when the crowd disperses, when the lights go out, when no one is left to cheer, you are faced with the quiet question of your heart. Who am I when no one is watching? My dear heart, when you live for purpose, not performance, you begin to find peace. You stop chasing every opportunity and instead you start listening to divine timing. You stop running in circles and you start walking in alignment. Purpose does not push, it pulls. It draws you toward what belongs to you, gently, naturally, inevitably. I have seen too many souls exhaust themselves chasing things that were never meant for them. They climb ladders that lean against the wrong walls. They gather trophies that lose their shine. They win applause but lose their peace. The world may call that success, but heaven calls it sorrow. Because true success, my child, is not about being seen. It is about being fulfilled. It is about knowing that what you do with love. That what you give with truth. When you live with purpose, every task becomes sacred. The smallest act of kindness becomes a prayer. The simplest smile becomes a blessing. You no longer chase greatness, you embody it. For greatness is not in what you achieve, but in how you serve. It is not in what you own, but in how you give. It is not in being known, but in being true. The world loves performance because it looks beautiful from the outside, but purpose is beauty from the inside. It grows from humility, from faith, from courage. Purpose says, even if no one applauds, I will still do what is right. Purpose says, even if no one notices, I will still show up. Purpose says, even if I walk alone, I will still walk with God. There is power in knowing why you do what you do. When you are rooted in purpose, storms cannot shake you. Criticism cannot wound you. Failure cannot stop you. Because your foundation is not built on praise, it is built on peace. And peace, my love, is the quiet crown of those who know who they are in God. You must understand this. There will always be someone faster, stronger, richer, more recognized, but none of them can be you. None of them can fill your shoes. None of them can do the work you were born to do. So stop racing them. You were not made to run their race. You were made to fulfill your calling. When you wake up each morning, do not ask, "What can I do to be admired?" Ask instead, "What can I do to be useful?" Ask, "How can I honor the gift of this day?" That, my child, is the language of purpose. That is where peace begins to bloom. There will be days when purpose feels slow, days when the world seems to run past you while you are still finding your way. But don't let that fool you. The oak tree grows quietly while the weeds rush upward overnight. The slow, steady work of purpose produces fruit that lasts. Do not be afraid to grow in silence. Let the roots of your intention go deep before you seek the sunlight of recognition. When you focus on purpose, you begin to see differently. You start to understand that not every door is yours to open, not every invitation is yours to accept, and not every battle is yours to fight. Purpose teaches you the power of discernment, the grace of saying no to what looks good so you can say yes to what is meant for you. I have learned that purpose is not about where you stand. It is about how you stand. You can be sweeping floors and still be fulfilling your calling if you do it with excellence and love. You can be raising a child, writing a poem, teaching a student, or comforting a stranger, and in that quiet act you are performing divine work. Because purpose is not measured by size, it is measured by sincerity. So stop performing for the world. The world's eyes are fleeting, but God's eyes are eternal. What He sees in you is far more precious than what others think of you. Let Him guide your steps. Let Him teach you that peace comes not from applause, but from alignment. When you are aligned with what He has called you to do, everything begins to flow, your words, your work, your spirit. You will no longer feel the need to prove yourself, because you will know yourself. You will no longer chase validation, because you will live in truth. And in that truth you will find freedom, the kind of freedom that no crowd can give and no failure can take away. My dear one, purpose over performance is not about doing less. It is about doing what matters most. It is about living intentionally, loving deeply, and moving faithfully. It is about remembering that every step you take is part of a divine dance choreographed just for you. So take off the mask. Step off the stage. Walk back into your truth. You do not need the world's applause to affirm what God already approved. You are enough. You are called. You are chosen. And when your purpose becomes your priority, your life becomes your prayer. Your peace becomes your power. And your quiet, steady light begins to glow so brightly that the whole world sees it and knows it is not performance they are witnessing. It is divine purpose in motion. My dear heart, life is a masterpiece in progress, and you, my child, are the brush in the hands of the divine artist. Every joy, every sorrow, every stumble and rise, each stroke of your story adds depth to the canvas of your becoming. You are not finished, you are forming. You are unfolding like dawn, quietly, beautifully in your own time. The world rushes to perfection. It tells you to have it all figured out, to move faster, to shine brighter, to always be in bloom. But the soul knows that growth is not an instant thing. The soul whispers, be patient with yourself. You are becoming. It knows that masterpieces are not painted in one sitting. They are layered. Each mistake, each correction, each brush of grace makes the whole more radiant. You, beloved, are no different. You are being shaped by hands that know exactly what they are doing. When you feel cracked, when you feel lost, when you cannot understand why life seems to pull you apart, remember the potter cannot form without pressing the clay. The sculptor cannot reveal beauty without striking the stone. The Creator cannot reveal your strength without allowing you to be stretched. Oh, I know it hurts sometimes. Growth always does. The seed must break before it can rise. The caterpillar must dissolve before it can fly. The dark night must pass before the morning can come. But do not despise the breaking. It is making you. Do not fear the waiting. It is preparing you. You are not behind, you are being built. I have lived long enough to know that the people who shine with the deepest light are those who have walked through shadow. They are the ones who have tasted loss, who have wrestled with doubt, who have cried and still found reason to sing. Their beauty is not in their perfection, but in their perseverance. Their grace is not in their ease, but in their endurance. So when you look at your life and see the unfinished edges, do not be discouraged. God is still painting. You are still becoming. Every lesson, every delay, every detour, none of it is wasted. He uses every color, even the dark ones, to complete the masterpiece. You are not meant to stay the same. Change is the evidence that you are alive. Just as the seasons shift, so must you. The tree does not mourn its leaves when they fall, for it knows they will return more vibrant than before. So too must you release what no longer serves your becoming. Let go of old fears, tired habits, and familiar pain. Make space for new growth, for new grace, for new beginnings. Be gentle with yourself. You are not behind anyone. You are walking your own sacred timeline. What takes another a moment may take you a lifetime, and that is all right. The speed of your becoming does not determine the beauty of it. The rose that blooms late is no less fragrant than the one that blooms early. Too often we believe we must have it all together to be worthy of love, to be worthy of joy, to be worthy of peace. But perfection is not your purpose. Presence is. God did not ask you to be flawless. He asked you to be faithful. He did not ask you to never fall. He asked you to rise again when you do. Every scar you carry is proof that you healed. Every wrinkle, every line, every mark upon your heart tells a story of resilience, of grace, of life fully lived. Do not hide your scars. Child, they are the brushstrokes of your humanity. They are how the light gets in. You are never meant to be spotless. You are meant to be soulful. You are never meant to be a copy. You are meant to be a creation still unfolding in divine hands. And remember, a masterpiece cannot be rushed. When God paints your life, He takes His time. He steps back, looks closely, adds a little more color here, a little more light there. Sometimes He allows shadows to fall, not to darken the picture, but to make the light stand out brighter. The shadows give shape to your story. Without them, the beauty would be flat. Without them, there would be no depth, no meaning, no contrast. You are being perfected not in performance but in patience. The masterpiece of your life will not be complete until you have walked through every joy and sorrow meant for you. So trust the process. Trust that every struggle has purpose. Trust that every delay has direction. Trust that every heartbreak holds a lesson that will one day become wisdom. When you focus on becoming your best self, rather than comparing yourself to others, you begin to see the beauty of your journey. You begin to understand that your path is not supposed to look like anyone else's. The colors God uses on your canvas are yours alone. No one else can duplicate them. And when you look back one day, when the painting of your life is more complete, you will see how every stroke, even the ones you once thought were mistakes, were necessary. You will see that the rough patches became texture, the tears became light, and the pain became color. You will see that the Master never wasted a moment. You are not finished. You are a work of art still in progress. And just because you are unfinished does not mean you are unworthy. Even now, even in your becoming, you are beautiful. You are valuable. You are divine work in motion. So walk tall, keep growing, keep healing, keep forgiving yourself. Speak kindly to your reflection. Celebrate your small victories. Be proud of how far you've come. You have survived storms that once threatened to destroy you. You have risen from places that tried to bury you. That, my child, is grace. That is growth. And when the world looks at you and wonders how you keep shining despite the cracks, tell them this, because I know the cracks are where the light gets through. Tell them, because I am still becoming. For you are not broken, you are being built. You are not lost, you are being led. You are not forgotten, you are being formed. So let the artist paint, let him refine, and as you do, stand proud in your process. For one day when all the colors have been laid and the story is told, the world will look at you and see what God already knows. You were a masterpiece all along, becoming more brilliant with every stroke of grace.